Cassandra is similar in this instance to Riyadh from MTN, who stole from procurement, from the company, but did not really hurt anybody, did not hurt customers, neither staff, just his boss's heart and the company. And so because of the fact that the crime, the gravity of it was not so exquisite, he was let go with a slap on the wrist. You are fired. You can't work here ever again. We never want to see your face again, but we're not going to press charges. Yeah. Well, in the case of social media then, the Cassandra / Riyadh of this scenario would be somebody that are just be grabbing Amariki Sean's benefits in their lackluster YouTube channel as a talking head speaking smack about nothing. Alright? And then deciding to give themselves 3-minute shorts so as to proliferate worthless content on the algorithm that people are going to click on because they imagine it's only 30 seconds long, only for it to actually be lingering for a good 3 minutes. And people are like, why am I listening to this woman for 3 minutes? Does YouTube have features of this nature? Can I do a short for 3 minutes? And then a client, a viewer, a content creator decides, and look at this woman's lackluster content with only like 5,000 subscribers, having a short that is 3 minutes long. Okay, I'm gonna experiment. And then they experiment in their own channel, and then they do a 3-minute 9:16 what do you call this, aspect ratio video, and it lands in long form content. And this content creator is like, Mara, why am I chilling in long form, whereas the 3-minute video of this lackluster channel, like I don't even know what's going on with this woman. Yeah, why is she chilling in shorts feed? What is it gonna take for me to hang out in the shorts feed? What is it gonna take for me to hang out in the shorts feed with a 3-minute long video? What's it gonna take? I wanna know. And it is things like these, questions like these, that then cause YouTube to investigate why there is a 3-minute long short on the shorts feed belonging to some lackluster, negligible, whatever content creator that has not necessarily been flagged or given a star or even approved or verified. And yet it's chilling there. So if this administrator at YouTube, this individual that works for YouTube, that has got an ability to award these kinds of perks for content creators, because they are perhaps like an account manager for top-end content creators, top-end YouTubers, they've been given that job like a private banker who works with private banking clients, but in and of themselves, they're not a private banking client. So you work with top-notch, high-end content creators that are given special, permissions on the platform. But in and of yourself, your little 10,000 subscriber strong channel is not that. You are a staff member at YouTube, and you get to have a YouTube channel, but you don't get to use your staff administrative powers. The powers you have in your job. Do you understand? To give yourself the perks of Mr. Beast, to give yourself the perks of Daniel LaBelle, to give yourself the perks of Kabi Lame, to give yourself the perks of who is this guy? Omri Kishon. They get YouTube sponsored videos because they are YouTube stars. So you can't give yourself the perks of someone that, never mind, is verified on YouTube, but so big that YouTube themselves sponsors them. And YouTube also allows them to put certain content out that it doesn't allow other content creators to put out. And also, YouTube enables them to chill in a shorts feed with a longer than a 1-minute short. Yeah. Imagine somebody out there chilling on 4,000 subscribers that just started a YouTube channel last week, giving themselves that, so as to get herself or himself to 100,000 subscribers within a month. Trying to really push themselves along. Yeah. So they give themselves, they manipulate the algorithm to, even when people click on their content. People click on their content and then they're bored. If it's a 10-minute video, they only watch the first 30 seconds and they click away. That's the kind of stuff that can make a YouTube algorithm be like, whatever, nobody cares about this, and throw it away. And it'll be a forgotten video that after 30 days has only amassed 2,000 views. After 5 days has only amassed 2,500 views. And after a month, it's now sitting banked, stuck on 3,000 views. Yeah, when this person realizes that their video is not going to go beyond 3,000 views, it's going to stay there, then deciding to basically give their channel an injection, that video, an injection almost like it's a newly posted video, and reignite the algorithm to listen to that, to cause people to listen to that video again. But this time around, it looked as if though, within the first 5 hours of posting this video, it has got 3,000 views. So they keep the view count, but they re-energize the posted date, as in to make that video look as if though it was posted yesterday. by changing dates in the background or something. And you know how perception management works. If you have got a video that has got 3,000 views within 5 minutes, people are curious as to what is it about this video? People must something must be awesome about it. So people then click on this video just because people clicked on this video. If you've got 7,000 views with your video only having been just posted, like you know how on YouTube it'll say posted 1 hour ago or posted 23 minutes ago, and you're already sitting on 10,000 views, people are gonna gain curiosity as to why does this thing have 10,000 views after just half an hour. And then they click on it by mere virtue of that perception being created, and this person then goes into their YouTube channel to manipulate things that way. So as to create an optical illusion of their content being better than what it really is. And then, because of that perception, amassing for themselves now the second time around, in circulating the same video, this time around she amasses for herself another 50,000 views, just by mere virtue of creating the perception that it's a good video. And they keep doing this manipulative activity across all their videos until they are growing a good 3,000 subscribers a day. Until they are growing a good 5,000 subscribers a week. And it's just like this burgeoning channel. Because this person is trying to make money, coin. Because they've noticed how lucrative YouTube can be. They want to quit their job. They want to retire from a 9 to 5. And then they manipulate the systems so as to enlarge their channel, using perks that belong only to YouTube sponsored and YouTube favored little stars worth of content creators who, when the algorithm starts to slow down the growth of their videos, the algorithm re-energizes them again so they can get pushed out there, so they can get more views. There are people like that get given those kinds of benefits by YouTube. That when you start to slow down, it's a contract between the content creator and YouTube. When you start to slow down, YouTube will make sure that you get taken up again and again and again. In exchange, of course, for whatever might be the revenue sharing model that they have, whatever relationship that this person has with YouTube. But there are people like that YouTube favors. All content creators are equal, but some content creators are more equal than others. The same thing is true on Instagram. Across all these social media platforms, there are certain content creators that frankly got it better than the rest of us. They are not fed and pushed along by the mere algorithm. They're pushed along by the fact that YouTube chose them as stars. It chose them as stars. They're like private banking clients in a bank. They choose them because they are already so prolific. And then a staff member makes a decision that they're gonna make themselves Mr. Beast. When a staff member makes a decision to make themselves that thing, their boss, when they find out that they did this thing, could get them arrested because they were stealing company funds. You earned ad revenue, got monetized because you manipulated the system. You stole from the company and we paid you. But seeing as you didn't steal from any other content creator, and seeing as what you stole is, in the grander scheme of company wealth, negligible, we'll let you off with a slap on your wrist. You're fired. Do you understand? And you will never be able to work for another social media company again, another PR company ever again, another marketing company ever again. You are done for in this industry. But at least you've got a clean rap sheet when it comes to your criminal record. We could arrest you because you stole from the company, but we'll just let you go off and sit in your apartment sobbing over the fact that you're not going to be able to make rent next month. But you can still try and see if you can't start a little stand on the side of the street selling my keep because you're not going to prison. We'll let you go scot-free, but you don't get to keep working for my company when you use company resources to enrich yourself. Yeah. So I will ask this question yet again. Who are you? In this instance, those of you who are saboteurs at TikTok, at ByteDance, those of you who are saboteurs at YouTube, those of you who are saboteurs at Facebook, Meta, basically, those of you who are saboteurs on whatever social media platform, who are taking bribes. Are you Karabo, who's just letting calls go, until the boss is like, come here, sit at my desk now, and then gives me a final written warning? Are you Karabo? Did you just drop the ball on doing your job? Were you late? Were you tardy? Or did you basically just not do something you were supposed to do? No, you're not me. You're not Karabo. You're not going to get to keep your job with a slap on your wrist. You're not going to get a final written warning. You are graduating over to, perhaps maybe, you are on this day, Riyadh. Maybe you're Riyadh. Are you Riyadh? Are you Riyadh? The guy who stole from procurement at MTN. Are you Riyadh? Did you steal from the company, but not from anybody else really? You took money from YouTube because you enriched yourself by making yourself like Marie Gishon. But nobody else got hurt. No content creator felt the pinch of you proliferating your tarnished, trashy, lackluster content on the algorithm, making yourself look beefier than you truly are. You did not use Netbank, private banking perks to give yourself free full tanks of gas. But nobody else got hurt. You did not steal money from other private banking clients. You were not like Mavis, embezzling funds from customers. No, you're not that thing, honey. When you sabotage the policies, or not policies sort of, but when you sabotage the accounts of content creators, when you sabotage the channels of content creators, on that day you are Mavis, the embezzler, sitting at Netbank for 20 years. Sitting in the mailroom for Netbank for 20 years. You are the MTN call center agents. These two stories are true, while the other one was a manufactured one with the no, there is no manufactured story in this particular instance when it comes to like the story with the policy is manufactured. The one called Liberty Life, the one where I spoke about wives coming to claim from insurance. Wives coming to claim from insurance after their husbands die, only to find that somebody else has out here collected on the policy because somebody out here, as a data capturer, changed the information. That's the analogy. That is untrue. That is fictional. But the true story is in the situation at Netbank with Mavis. That is a true story. And the situation at MTN with the call center agents, that's a true story. Mavis embezzled funds from the company, and she also took from customers, actual clients, while the call center agents enabled a criminal syndicate against MTN, and therefore caused MTN to be low-key, unbeknownst to themselves, a participant in the crimes being committed through their staff members vicariously recreating all these SIM cards. So a crime was committed against the company of which stood to be severely lambasted by fines from regulatory bodies for recreating SIM cards without the requisite documentation, the requisite vetting, the requisite checks. Yeah. So when you put your company in hot water with regulation, and when you also put your company in hot water with customers, with clients of which can throw their toys out the cot because their account suddenly missed a cool 10 rand, because you are an embezzler thinking that Mr. Oppenheimer's not going to know there's $10 missing until he does. Yeah. When you put your company in a position to have to account to livid customers, why something is happening. You're a different kind of beast on that day. You're Mavis. You're a different kind of beast on that day. You are call center agents at MTN. You're a different kind of beast on that day. You're the lackluster fictional lady chilling at Liberty Life out here as a data capturer, policy administrator, changing information on a policy that later on materially affects who is awarded proceeds that are claimed under that policy months down the line from the date of changing that. You have hurt clients and also cost the company its reputation. And upon this information then coming to the light that this happened, not only do you deserve to get fired, but you also deserve to go to jail. Because absent of you going to prison, your company is going to be made to look as if though it was implicit in enabling that behavior, that activity. It is going to look complicit, implicit. It is going to look culpable. It is going to look like it wanted that and that it approved of it. If a company lets people go off with a slap on their wrist that did that, it says that this company takes some kind of responsibility for that individual's behavior. But the company can completely absolve itself from any responsibility and play dead, claim fraud on the part of staff to salvage its reputation so as to regain the trust of its client base. It is not Liberty Life you must not trust, ma'am. It is this lackluster Renee that has been receiving bribes from outside to change information on policies, and look at how bereaved you are. And initially we didn't believe you, ma'am. Initially we wrote you off and you went home and you were not able, ma'am, to get your policy funds. But we came to learn that there was a syndicate operating in the company where some of our staff were receiving bribes. And right now they're facing due process, they're facing court. They're going to go to prison, and we as a company are going to reimburse you for the challenges you've endured, right next to also pay you the proceeds you deserve under the policy. We have called you back in because we respect you as our customer, and we are deeply sorry, because even though 2 years have progressed since you last tried to claim, and so there's not anything that we can do to win you back that time lost and all the sorrow you must have endured as a result of us not paying you the proceeds. We can do what we can to try and salvage the damages that we have caused, because we have ever since then, in the past 2 years, came to learn of 7 other widows that came forth with the same issue as you, only for us to discover that one of our employees has been changing beneficiary details on policies, causing us to pay out the wrong people in the insurance claim. And it would be only the 7th widow that we investigated this, because it was just all too, eerily similar, the cases. And we discovered that there's literally one employee behind all these cases, and they've been apprehended. They're facing the wrath of the law, and we are going to pay you your proceeds under the policy alongside damages. We are willing to settle with you out of court for 5 million rands. We are sorry for the inconvenience caused, so as to salvage its reputation as a company. So answer me this. Yet again, let us reiterate these matters, these facts. Are you, Karabo, out here merely dropping the ball on the job, like being late 3 days in a row or whatever? Or are you, Riyadh, out here stealing stationery to sell it in your own business, but you're not really hurting MTN customers? Or are you, Mavis, out here stealing money from clients' accounts over 20 years, enriching yourself at the expense of your company and at the expense of its customers too? Who are you among these 3? Oh, saboteurs, chilling. At ByteDance, saboteurs, chilling. At Meta, saboteurs, chilling. At YouTube, who among you are you? Listen, you are category number 3. Because understand this, okay? Category number 3 hurts a business's bottom line. Category number 3 creates a false perception in customers of the business. Category number 3 disreputes the business. And category number 3 is daylight robbery of both the business and its clients. The 3rd category of people are utterly unacceptable in any corporate at all, and are also duly and rightly judged when they also face prison, because prison is the only way that companies that employed these people, it's the only way that these companies can win themselves their reputation back in the eyes of their customers. The only way that YouTube and Meta, basically these social media platforms, can ever make themselves look good in the eyes of people like me again, is to essentially allow for the arrest, the imprisonment of their staff members that did this on their platforms. They stole from their company. So in the case of the content, so in this particular instance, right, it's not that the content creator out here used the perks of YouTube to enrich themselves and nobody was hurt. Like the case of this woman out here proliferating themselves in the algorithm, giving themselves the status of Mr. Beast, albeit being a 5,000 rand strong little content creator on the side, trying to quickly burgeon their own YouTube channel so as to make money from it. Yeah, this is an individual that is literally taking bribes from outside in order to sabotage people who come to the platform that is YouTube. I will use YouTube, but this is happening across multiple social media platforms. They're taking bribes, right, in order to sabotage people that one day hop into this YouTube space, and then they're like, I'm going to be a content creator. Now, what is YouTube's value proposition as a company? What are they offering? I think we're sticking with YouTube. It could, but we are, of course, speaking about all social media platforms, but right now I'm honing in on YouTube. What is their value prop? We are an online library of videos offering audio, visual content. The value of which is in the fact that people desire information, knowledge on this platform, and they click on it. People of which are consumers on a global scale. The consumers of which on a global scale are not only consuming content on YouTube every single day, but also have other needs or other things that they need to learn they need. And so therefore we advertise to them that which they could potentially need. They could potentially need a gym membership. They could potentially need new socks. They could potentially need new pots. They could potentially need a new house. They could potentially, etc. So therefore, advertisers across the world who understand just the sheer numbers, magnitude of souls that come on this online audio visual library full of information every single day, they come here on YouTube to advertise their slew or plethora of services to people that, albeit coming to watch a video about Jesus Christ being Lord, are also interested in refurbishing their kitchen. So I am going to advertise my tiling company. I am going to advertise my tap making company, Pompo. I am going to advertise my cupboard making company, my carpentry company, on YouTube. I'm gonna listen in, even though the surveillance is quite disturbing, but we all know how it is that we ought to be needing a new cup, and we speak about it with our friend on WhatsApp, and then next thing, cups are advertised. Watch this mug. Get yourself a Stanley mug. Maybe it's going to be good for you today. We are being listened in on by applications that are then, appropriately advertising to us. I purchased things on Temu, The other day I showed you, I not only spoke into my video speaking about how I bought stuff on Temu, but I also, on my computer, ordered stuff on Temu, which is completely divorced from YouTube, or at least it ought to be. And yet, ever since then, every time I am inside YouTube on my mobile device, download the Temu app. Download the Temu app. Yo, I only bought stuff once on Temu. I'm probably never going to buy stuff again over there because I'm broke. I can't be out here buying international stuff. I can't pay duties anymore. Like, I can't do it. My duties tax, by the way, came to 188 rands, just in case you're wondering. Can't be doing none of that anymore. But just because I once bought from Temu, not on an application, but just the website on my computer, and spoke about it on my phone, I was listened into by Big Brother, who Archer is now shoving the Temu app in my face and shoving Temu advertisements in my face on my YouTube app, on my YouTube app on my mobile devices. Okay, yeah, very well. So that is the value proposition of these social media companies. They're listening to us whether or not we want them to be listening to us, and they are recommending things to us that they imagine we need, and they are making a whole chunk of money this way. YouTube pays, they do a revenue sharing model with content creators, therefore, on whose videos these advertisers can punt their message. And these advertisers then gain in return uptake of their particular product based on advertisements, while YouTube gets ad revenue. So their value prop, YouTube's money, comes in with all of these advertisers paying YouTube a certain amount to advertise on their platform, and then YouTube shares the revenue that they get from these people with content creators to incentivize content creators to be on their platform. So therefore, the bigger you become on the tube machine, the bigger you become on YouTube or any other social media platform for that matter, the more important you become to YouTube, because you on that day are like a paying customer. You might not feel like you're a paying customer, but by mere virtue of having 10 cool thousand people watching your lowly little random video of you gardening, YouTube is able to make some money out of you, and so they will give you some of that money back in a revenue sharing model. So you are on that day what we call a YouTube customer. You are a YouTube paying client, because these advertisers pay YouTube to advertise on your video. So when you get monetized, you then get adverts on your content, and you as a content creator can make a decision as to how many ads you run on your particular video. The more money you want to make, the more tactless you become in harassing all of us with adverts every 5 seconds. That is the prerogative of the content creator, and YouTube will then pay them based on a person watching a video, not a video, but an advert from start to finish. So much so is this the thing that there is this one content creator that I watch. Her name is Epic Zara. She does hair content. Y'all know I love hair content. And Zara, in the beginning of the videos, says, guys, please watch my videos. No, watch the adverts to the end. It really helps me along in revenue. Because if you watch the ads to the end, that's when I get paid. YouTube, therefore, because they make money from ad revenue, forces all of us unfortunate souls, sometimes, to watch a video from start to finish. You know those unskippable ads? Yeah. You'll be watching it, all of it, yawning, with your finger out, you're twitching like you have just been removed from drug use. And you can't click anything because it's gonna make you watch the whole ad. But even with the adverts that you don't have to continue to watch, you are made to watch them up to a certain point and then only skip, because they're trying to see if they can't draw your attention to watch the rest of that advert by making you watch the first couple of seconds of it. This happens across all platforms, on apps, everywhere. That's how a revenue sharing model works. You gotta watch adverts, but there is no incentive to be out here blonking people with ads when there's only 1 or 2 random people watching, because you see, this is an economy of scale model. They are hedging. They are hoping that out of 10,000 people that watch this video, there will be 1 that's interested in buying tiles from CTM. There will be 10 that are going to walk into this carpenter's boutique and purchase cupboards. There will be, so basically, the grander the number, the more people there are that watch a video, the more likely it is that companies that invested in advertising on the platforms are going to get customers from that video. So YouTube, therefore, incentivizes people only who have a minimum of, as at last time I checked, 1,000 subscribers, and also incentivizes people, as at the last time I checked, a minimum of 4,000 watch hours. And then when it comes to shorts, you have to have a minimum of, as at the last time I checked, 18 million or something, like some crazy number of that nature. Watch, clicks, views, like of that, in order for you to monetize shorts. or is it 10 million? I don't know, some big number, okay? Yeah, that's what's good, because they are hedging on economies of scale, a model that is based on scale. Do you understand? They need the numbers to be huge for it to be worth the while for companies to pay to advertise this way. So YouTube's whole value prop literally is hinged on us as customers, content creators, paying them through revenue sharing models that thingamabobbies, what is this, like what are sponsors, like advertisers are willing to plonk their ads on our videos so that YouTube can earn revenue. So without us, YouTube is here. They are nowhere. They are zero. They need our content in order for them to get that, whatever their revenue sharing model is, 75% to 30, 35. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I would only learn once I am actually earning anything from there. So without content creators, there is no YouTube. Without your boring video where you are planting chrysanthemums in your garden, there is no YouTube. Without the 10,000 odd people watching you plant a plant in the garden, there is no YouTube. So essentially, no matter how lackluster, how boring you are, no matter how worthless your content might be, even if you're busy eating 10,000 cakes in a day because you do mukbangs, that might at some point have appeared to be valueless, until people clearly displayed to be curious about people doing weird stuff online. That's why ASMR is so popular. I still don't get it, but there are people who actually want to listen to people crunching stuff, opening sweeties, and chewing audibly. There is an audience for that. Do you understand? And the more people you amass for yourselves, the more cupboards tiling, so a carpentry business sells, the more likely they're going to be able to sell. So if at all I am like a customer at Nedbank and you are Mavis, honey, if you're busy stealing 10 rands from my account every year so as to amass for yourself after 20 years from 20,000 of us 2 million rands, you've stolen from me, and you've also therefore stolen from your company, and you have also harassed a customer that is going to take it out, no, not on Mavis, because I don't know Mavis, but guess who I bank with? Nedbank. I'm going to take it out on the company. How many times did I, in the beginning of me suffering like this, cry against Facebook, especially ever since COVID-19 and the censorships that happened therein? Because, right? Everybody has been super paranoid like no man's business in these streets. On some of these social media companies, they nasty like that. They be out just shadow banning everybody. They hate Christians. They hate Christianity. Maybe at some point I was right to say that YouTube is anti-Christian and anti-Semitic and anti. Perhaps maybe they could be accused of censoring all of us unnecessarily. But when then they simmer down on censorship because they realize that the backlash from customers was so exquisite that they can't afford to keep hurting their customers like that anymore, but there are people still censoring those that YouTube decided not to censor anymore. On that day, you're a nonsense. The other day, I was listening to a video. I told you guys that Mark Zuckerberg would change his tone, his mind about censorship, and he did. There was a video that he released speaking about how it is that he's going to change this and that on Meta to ascertain that people actually have a better voice to speak. They're going to move their staff to Texas and so that they can have a less of a biased voice. Texas, of which is more conservative than liberal, because California is kind of cray-cray and whatnot. Mark Zuckerberg went out and spoke and said that censorship is something that he is out here actively working to eradicate because he is not trying to be about that business anymore. Basically, prophecy got fulfilled. So when Mark Zuckerberg stops censoring on Facebook, because he saw the backlash against Facebook, especially considering he's out here looking at Elon Musk on Twitter or X and feeling some kind of way about his popularity, and so therefore trying to emulate that situation, when Mark Zuckerberg wants to recoup himself and to recover his numbers, especially considering as well that Twitter is doing better, or X, and then you make a decision that Mark Zuckerberg's repentance is irrelevant because you are going to maintain his censorship of saints. You're going to maintain his fact-checking, little funny, weird, moderating AI. When you make a decision that the rules that he has put in place or the refurbishments to his organization that he has put in place, when you make a decision that they're irrelevant, when you decide, Uguti, I don't care what my big boss Mark gotta say, I am going to maintain his iron fist, even though he repented from it. You are insubordinating your boss. You are insubordinating your employer. You are insubordinating your Mark Zuckerberg CEO guy. You are insubordinating your company leaders who change their minds once they make an observation of the retraction or the lashback by the global population under censorship when they make an observation of how this is just not going to end well for us. And then they decide to change, literally, the algorithm. They decide to tweak the AI to do a different thing. They decide to set free those who have been put in YouTube jail and let them fly like birds. When YouTube makes a decision to uncensor censored folk, when they can now soar like birds. I was listening to Catfield the other day, and he said that there was a time on Facebook when he was just dead quiet, not growing. If anything, he was enduring a net loss of followers. One time for like a season, about 9 months that progressed, where it was just a dark valley that he was in, where he was gaining no new followers, and he had just plateaued ridiculously in terms of his growth. And then one day it just lifted. One day it just lifted, and he was able to grow again. That is basically a social media moderating, a social media like company's decision-making team concerning who to shadow ban and what to do. Making a decision to unban someone, or making a decision to change their strategy concerning censorship, such that those that have been banned will then be set free from YouTube jail, or be set free from Facebook jail. And that decision ought to be ubiquitous, general, and likely done from a systematic level where like one button on top is pressed that sets everyone free. Like, you know, like in prison, in in automated prisons where like prison cells are not opened by keys anymore, but you press a button and then their doors open. Like the guards of the prison, now that it's morning and prisoners are waking up, opening by pressing a button automatically from a central source. Prisoner bars doors to enable them to walk in the general population and to go in and get breakfast or whatever. Yeah, the setting free of content creators that was shadow banned under the COVID regime. We will call it that. The draconian crazy that happened during COVID-19. The setting free and the opening of the jail bars of prisoners happened from a central place that went and said of all the jail doors of all the prisoners. So therefore, if they're after opening all the jail doors of all the prisoners has happened, if a guard decides to go and grab one prisoner and shove them back into their cell, and then, what is the word that I am looking for? Manually, mechanically, in and of himself, decides to slam that door again, imprisoning just this one prisoner. They, on that day, are overriding, literally overruling, in no position to do so, because it was a decision of the warden to open for everybody on the floor to go and eat breakfast. And if a guard makes a decision because of his unique irritation with this prisoner, for no purpose other than the fact that he lost in a card game the other day, and he then puts this person back in prison and slams the door shut, he is insubordinating the prison warden. He is insubordinating the prison system. He is insubordinating the way the decision that was made from on top down. And therefore, if they get found in this position, if they get found in doing this thing, they can get fired. They will cause disrepute on the part of the prison. They will get all different kinds of prison reform rioters speaking about how it is that they treat people so badly in these prisons like they're animals. We get that they're criminals, but they're still human. Yeah, well, there was a YouTube jail, a Facebook jail, a social media jail for a season during COVID-19 and afterwards. And prison wardens made a decision to open those doors. I spoke about Catfield, how it is that he was in Facebook jail for a season, and then he got set free. That is the kind of stuff that happens from a top down, and usually the buttons pressed tends to set free a whole bunch of other content creators ubiquitously. There's too many content creators for any random one CEO or any random one team to focus on uniquely just Karabo, just mine, especially when that individual's content is negligible, small, and if they're not even monetized. Like, I'm not even monetized, so I don't even belong to the YouTube partner program. And I spoke about how it is that not belonging to the YouTube partner program is also problematic, because when you are not on the partner program, you cannot write an email and get heard, because you're just part of the masses that could harass YouTube with complaints and laments. They only listen to those that are on their partner program. I told you guys about Mercy Gono and how she had lost her account because she got hacked into, and until such time that she was able to monetize some channel where she was creating this awareness, only at that stage was she able to get any kind of ear given her by people who listen to those who lament in the YouTube partner program concerning her other channel, because they would not listen to her before then until she monetized a new channel. Yeah, so essentially what I'm getting at is that the people in these social media companies, the bosses, the teams they're in, ain't nobody got time to be looking at one little stupid content creator. Ain't nobody. And they allot what will be the 10 amount of account managers to those that are monetized. They allot teams to basically take care of the needs and the complaints, the laments, the grievances of only monetized people that are on the partner program. The partner program say YouTube. Everybody else is a shunnable, ignorable voice. That's why these little freaks cannot afford to let me monetize. Because the moment I am on the partner program, even in the slightest, I can get to say, but what's going on with my account? What did I do? Why am I so shadow banned? And it will have to be investigated because I am part of the partner program, and it is comprehended by YouTube that those who are on the partner program are officially customers of YouTube. They're officially clients because they're the ones on whose content ads are played. They're the ones who stand to benefit YouTube with revenue sharing. The rest of us are like volunteer workers out here trying to impress a circumstance so one day it'll hire us permanently. Like literally doing part-time work as a volunteer employee in some company that's paying you zero, not an ash, hoping that you're going to pull your weight so much that they will one day give you an offer letter to actually work on the employee. Everybody else of the rest of us are volunteers. The rest of us who do content on social media, who are not monetized, we're just volunteers. And these buffoons are trying to keep me as a volunteer. They are literally trying to keep me as a volunteer. And when you're a volunteer, you are not owed anything by YouTube. You are not guaranteed to be hired. You are nobody. And given that I'm a volunteer, I also don't make YouTube any money because there are no ads running on my content. And so because there are no ads running on my content, I'm just a loiterer when I send an email. I am spam. I cannot complain for as long as I'm not on the partner program. Understand this, there was a time when my shorts were doing so well that I got an email to be on the shorts partner program. I responded to that email by saying, yes, I agree, I would love to be part of the program. They never got back to me. It's like somebody said, we can't let this woman be part of any partner program because then if she is, she can lament, she can send a community email, she can get stuff investigated, she can get stuff taken up, and then people are going to look into it and they're going to find out that we got bribed, we got paid in order to shut her channel down. Yeah, channels down. They are doing everything in their power to make sure that I cannot belong to any social media platform's partner program. Not Facebook, like when I was on Facebook. As soon as I got to 1,000 followers, Watul, it's like they refuse to let me monetize. They refuse to let me be able to talk to admin in the company so as to get my grievance heard. Because they know that what they're doing is criminal. It's shoddy, it's underhanded, and it's insubordination of their company rules. They're rogue. I told you guys that they're acting rogue. They're receiving bribes. That is the reason why they keep coming at my advanced features. When you don't have your advanced features, you cannot monetize. Without advanced features, even if you are eligible for monetization because you've got 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, you still can't monetize until you verify your cell phone number. And if they make a decision not to approve or reward your verification, you could literally have 400,000 subscribers and monthly get millions of views. You still cannot earn any revenue because you are not verified. These people made sure that they take away my advanced features across all my channels to ascertain that even if I were to somehow break past the barriers of entry, I still cannot be on the YouTube partner program. And that's just YouTube. Ain't no need to be out speaking about Facebook. Ain't no actual need to be talking about anywhere else, really. Go Instagram, make it look long ago. I gave up literally 1 million years ago. I don't care. Even though Instagram is meta, they were a lot harsher than Facebook. So now that I'm aware that Mark Zuckerberg has no interest, no desire to watch me, to proliferate whatever's happening with me. When then I can't grow on Facebook in spite of trying, because now Mark Zuckerberg is changing the rules, he's refurbishing. It says that he is being insubordinated. It says that him and his management teams are being insubordinated by random miscreants on the ground that are taking bribes. Who am I to Mark Zuckerberg? I am a client, a customer. I'm a content creator. And he stands to make Meta even bigger than what it is because of my content. Me and many other content creators, similarly too, on YouTube. They stand to benefit from my videos, be they lackluster or high quality. And of late, I have been investing in the improved quality of my content so as to, by the time these people get found wanting, get the requisite judgment on them falling. Because it'll be clear that all these years that I've been set on the chest of by some insubordinating entry-level administrators at YouTube. YouTube has lost out on whatever ad revenue that they would have made out of my content. Whatever ads would have run on my content YouTube has literally lost all that money. And understand, I'm not just me, but on a multiplier, there are many people like me. So however many of these people are thwarting and sabotaging, or however many people that ads on the content of are not running, however many of us there are, is literally however many of us are a money bleed to YouTube. All of us have no ads running on our content. And it is not because YouTube has made that decision. It is not because we've broken community guidelines. It is not because we have been put in YouTube jail by YouTube. It is because we have been put in a small little jail cell by some miscreant porn star that's busy taking bribes to keep one particular person shunned. I told you, a whole syndicate is about to be unraveled in Africa, and people are going to get arrested. Some are going to lose their entire careers. And this is going to happen because it's going to get that. Like, imagine that scene go MTN, where the SAPS walked in and arrested people in the call center. That's about to happen. At YouTube, at Meta. I can't really say much for ByteDance because they're done for. In Jefela, in total, I told you that TikTok is on its way out, like CapCut. But still, nonetheless, what is being done to me by people at ByteDance is the kind of stuff that's going to get people marched out of offices in handcuffs because they literally were stealing from their companies. These people are messing with the reputation of YouTube online. Because in the beginning, I used to lament, like I said, I used to lament against YouTube on some day of shadow banning me. They suck, they bite. Why are they doing this? They don't care about Christians. They are, and indeed, to a certain extent, there is censorship on truth channels. But not at the height that I'm suffering. Not this thing that I'm going through. Not this thing that I'm going through. It's a deliberate decision to disregard company decisions and company policies. And they are doing this acting rogue in their unique capacity as moderators that are sitting in entry-level jobs. However, with administrative powers that can significantly tarnish the quality of a user experience on YouTube, on the platform that is YouTube. They can mess with the algorithm so as to no longer proliferate a person's video. They can make sure that once a person posts, their content goes nowhere. Essentially, albeit your video looking public on YouTube, it's privatized in the back end, so no one sees it. They are blinding people from seeing thumbnails, even though you see it on your library. They are blinding people from, they are unliking likes, they are unsubscribing subscribers. So that which basically, in the very opposite of what it is that I spoke about earlier, that that YouTube employee, that fictional YouTube employee that Archer is using the platform to proliferate themselves by duping the algorithm into thinking that they've newly posted, even though they posted 24 hours ago. They do the very opposite of that, where it is that they will give a newly posted video the status of a video that's been posted for 5 days with 0 views. And so YouTube, the algorithm will then think of it as a worthless video. If nobody is clicking on this in 5 days, what's the point of me pushing it out anymore? Layers of shadow banning that are so exquisite that they are there to do no other thing but to disincentivize or discourage a content creator from continuing to post content when the value proposition of YouTube is content creators come create, volunteer, and we'll see if we hire you later. And in exchange, we'll give you revenue. And if you get big enough, these companies that are willing to pay us to advertise on your content, we will give it. If you get big enough, these companies will advertise even more. And then you'll get viewed by more and more people, and you'll also get called for brand deals. Wada fish paste. There is a lot in it for you. Come. That's their value proposition. And here it is that some of their rogue employees are saying, don't even bother. Leave YouTube. Get out. They are kicking content creators off social media. They're kicking content creators off social media when the value proposition of social media platforms is content creators that they use in order to make money through ad revenue and brand deals, etc., affiliates and whatnot. They are literally messing with the customer base. It's like a client going to Standard Bank, knocking on their door in the morning. Go, I want to open an account. And because somebody wants to keep you perpetually working with M-Pesa and e-wallet, they don't want you having an account. They don't want you going digital. They don't want you basically upgrading. They then decide to lock you out of Standard Bank and refuse to let you open an account with that bank because they have got a bone to pick with you digitizing your money. They've got a problem with you putting your money in an account as opposed to underneath your mattress. They want you to be maintained in an archaic fashion. They want you to keep on putting your money in your shoe and in your sock and not in a bank account. They want you carrying wads of cash all over the show, endangering yourself in the streets of Johannesburg. And so because they want to maintain you in an archaic way of operating with money, they then rob the bank that you've chosen to bank with and deposit your salary of your business. There are freaks out here robbing YouTube of my business. I'm knocking on the door on some, hey, I've got money to put in this bank account. I want an account. And Standard Bank appears to be the one that's shutting me out, saying, no, I don't want you opening an account with my bank because this person is acting on behalf of Standard Bank. So Standard Bank is now vicariously responsible for the acts of their employees. If at all Standard Bank wants to maintain their reputation, they've got to fire this man, send him to jail, and then award me an apology of sorts, and then let me come in and deposit my money, open an account, deposit my money, and be a comfortable Standard Bank client. Yes. What these people are doing is stealing clientele from social media. And given that it is a syndicate operating in Africa, not just in Africa, but across the world, but the African one is quite prolific, it's beefy. Given that it's a syndicate, it's got many people. It's harassing many content creators. And so it's taking millions out of revenue per annum from YouTube. It's like shrinkage in an FMCG, where staff are out here leaving with groceries that are unaccounted for. So you have to declare losses. You have to write them off. You bought this much stock, but there's like a good 15% of it missing. If at all you can tie the shrinkage back to some sticky-fingered employees, you fire them because they're robbing from the company. Do you understand? Yeah. So I will reiterate this and highlight it again. Who among you are you out of these? Are you Karabo? Your indiscretion against your company. Are you Karabo? That's out here dropping the ball on the job because you're not taking calls, because you're upset at some deadbeat boyfriend. Or are you Riyadh, out here stealing stationery to sell it in your own little spaza, but you're not hurting clients? Or are you Mavis, out here embezzling funds from your company by taking them from individual clients therein? Who are you when you sabotage me to get off the platform that is YouTube, Facebook, anywhere? You are Mavis. You are the call center agents at MTN that got hurled out by the SAPS. You are the woman changing policy information at Liberty Life so that the wife does not get the proceeds of a claim, of a policy, but some other embezzler, some other abuser, some other thief, criminal. You are a criminal that is using company resources to commit crimes. You are a member of a syndicate. And once your thing is unraveled, not only are the police going to be looking for the people that pay you bribes that don't work for your company, but they're going to march into the offices where you work and arrest you at the desk. And once you are interrogated, you are going to say who has been paying you, who has been giving you money to do this to client policies, who has been giving you money to sabotage content creators' content like this. I told you, the FBI is already inquiring on weird, strange activity, because just like my boss in the call center, who saw in his monitor that something weird is going on, there is something weird going on that people have already seen, that is being done by certain administrators, moderators working at these platforms. But just like in the instance at MTN, where it is that people are here, where bosses are here, they know what 30 people have got strange Rika numbers, lots of them in batches. But until such time that an internal investigation is done, they can't say anything, they can't highlight that there is an issue, because they're waiting to get all the proof they need. So they can't, so that they won't only go after the minions on the ground. Because when you are out here messing with a policy or a channel on YouTube, you are a minion. They're looking for the head of the snake. So they cannot alert you as a minion to the fact that you're under investigation, because the moment you get busted and arrested, word goes out to the head of the snake that you work for. And they will pack their bags, disappear, and be nowhere to be found. So they've got to keep you comfortable sitting, earning a salary every month, paying for your groceries, taking your dog to the vet. They will let you keep coming to work every day and going home. Come to work every day, go home. But well, you're under investigation. They will play dead, act like they don't know jack, until they can finally round up enough evidence to get everyone that is a part of the syndicate, or at least enough people, so as to leverage their testimony in order to get the head of the snake. In exchange for amnesty, deals, you will literally be brought into a room and interrogated by the FBI. I told you yesterday, I shared a prophecy speaking about how the FBI, and even then they were wearing SWAT team uniforms, came here and rescued me in South Africa from some little murderous psychopaths all over the shows shooting in the streets of South Africa. So you are going to get interrogated by simply working for YouTube in this country by an American policing force that out here feels infringed upon in what it's trying to do for national policy by South African corruption. So do not be shocked nor surprised when some agent of the law that is from the US comes to South Africa to interrogate you, and working with the South African government, because after all, you are committing crimes. You are committing crimes. So they will hand you over to be interrogated by US officials After all, you work for a US company in this country. And when then you are interrogated that way, you are gonna literally shake in your pants, seeing as you're some lackluster little woman, and you are going to come out with who bribed you and for how long they've been bribing you. And they will ask you, why did you do this? You will not even know. All you will know is that you were given 4,000 rands, 5,000 rands to just thwart this woman's content. You will have no understanding as to what is the reason behind this. You're just doing it in nje, because nale rabishi in you. You've got like I said, you're like porn stars. You're not sabotage. In an environment is snacks, but you justify it to a point even of marrying each other. Seeing as they're not going to get any information out of you as to why are you sabotaging all of these content creators on our platform? Because it's an international market? Because